important, and these are things that a party should be talking about among themselves and developing policies. But at the same time, I'd like to hear what's happening on the ground in developing your branch structure, your internal communication, your candidate identification. You're talking about these elections being important, and the next big elections are what, 2017. What are you doing to identify, recruit, and prepare candidates and put a selection process in place? They're the kind of things that we can have. The other thing, support from outside the country is important. And particularly on the continent of Africa and elsewhere, you find that diaspora want to support, and it's important how it's perceived in the country, but it's also important to show that support. I don't know how Liberia works, so I don't know, for example, do citizens around the world have a vote in elections? Are citizens or are non-residents allowed to contribute financially to political parties? These are all critical issues, because while that support is important, building the infrastructure internally is equally important. And one other thing, I'm interested that you made the comment that you don't have a leader, you have a group of very eminent figures. Many parties have tried that, and I understand where it comes from. But at the end of the day, when you want a figure that stands to represent the party, a spokesperson on the party, it's often important to have some type of hierarchy. Sometimes this is done, you have a group of leaders because it's not hierarchical, or you want to show that this is really represented in terms of leadership. Other times it's done for other reasons, because there are tensions, and therefore, you know, if we opt on one particular individual, and I don't know the leadership, so I'm not making comments on it, but if you opt in one particular direction, it disaffects others. And so I'd like to explore that a little bit more too, in terms of what is the public face of the party when you mention the party to Liberians. What's the public face? Because a group, a committee, or a group of leaders won't do that for them.
Very true, and you're correct. Let me try to give you a picture of what we're doing on the ground, a picture of how our membership pursuits our efforts of mobilization, and how we currently get support, and then the public face, how we intend to brand or sell our idea, through whom and through what structure. We are currently in the mobilization stage. The committees in Monrovia have meetings every week in different communities. They started this from day one. They go out to different communities, Gardnersville, Barnesville, and I was in Monrovia in April. I was there in August, December, and April. Last August, last December, and April, this April. And we went out to Buchanan. We went out to the Thai shop. We went out to the university. We went out to Compton University. We went out to Banga. And they're doing that. We have representation in all of the 15 counties.
Can I ask,
Sure.
how many do your membership base now? How many registered members does the party have? I know you required signatures per county for registration, but in terms of your actual membership?
In April, I was told about 20-some thousand.
20-something.
Yes, in April, when we were there in April. That was the number we got. Now it's growing. Since we got our certificate, that number is far larger than that. So there is that structure. We are required to have physical presence in the counties. So we now have 7 offices. We are in the process of getting additional 8 offices. Well, it should be 9, because Monrovia County headquarters doesn't count as one. We have to have a separate office for that. So we provide, this is where we also come in. We provide support, financial support from our pockets, and we also provide strategy and with the leadership team. Our leadership team and the leadership team work together. Regarding the question of whether or not we can support, I have property in Liberia. I still hold my Liberian passport. I'm a U.S. citizen. I have my American passport, but I also have Liberian passport. There's still some ambiguity about that, but I'm not going to be running for any office, so I wouldn't have to hopefully face that question. But that's a question we think that when the president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, had to deal with it. The court said that those who were forced to, for reasons beyond their control, to be out of the country. I mean, she, in her case, the ruling was in her case, but we think it's applicable. We think we can use that to make the case. So the party structure, we have executive committee, we have member presence in all the 15 counties, we have physical location offices in 7 of the 15, and we are on a weekly basis having meetings, outreach meetings in all different communities. The membership, again, every day we get calls, even from here as we sit here, people call us, want to be a part of us, and they want to understand what we're doing. The presence, we say we don't have a political leader. That is true. But the people involved in this organization are highly respected and highly regarded Liberians. We have had conversations with some members of government who want to be a part of our party. I'm sure you have heard the name Kwame Clement. Kwame is one of the named people move about as potentially our candidate. He's a member of the Alternative National Congress. He is not the candidate. Now, could he have a desire to want to participate? Absolutely. Nothing precludes him from doing that. So Mr. Langley is a highly respected, prominent Liberian, business self-made, accomplished professional businessman. In his circles, many people would look up to him and want to be associated with him. Professor Red and Doctor. The idea we bring, and when we say that, is that let's build the institutions, because the Liberian mindset, and I'm sure you have some experience with that, there's a lot of tricky balance. We are Liberians. We grew up in the environment, and we experience it. It's just a little tricky. When you have one person with resources who comes and takes over, then it's almost bending everything in a direction. Now, that may be true almost anywhere else, but our situation is even more peculiar because people are desperate. Resources, people have nothing. So it doesn't take much to sway them. We start saying this, that we are not driven, we don't have a political leader, not because we don't think it's important to have a good figure who people can gravitate towards. I think people know that. We get the vibes. People, in fact, have said, oh, this person is the candidate because we see this person involved, so we know this is the direction. There have been a couple arguments about, well, this is a party, Kwame built this party, and we're building an institution. So, in that respect, we recognize that. We recognize the importance of having, at some point, a face that people would respect and appreciate and want to be a part of. When we have the convention, we're having a convention in December, most likely January, but we think we will hold it December date. New leadership will be elected. That's for the next 6 years. And in that process, we think we will also bring additional people on board.
Yeah, can I ask?